Good evening to one and all. This is the Venu, Control lecturer in Mechanical Engineering from GMR Polytechnic College, Urnoor. In the last class, we have seen regarding the grain, grade, structure, and the types of abrasive process. Like that, we have discussed in the earlier class. Now, we are going to study regarding the grinding wheel shapes and sizes. The factors considered for selecting of a grinding wheel. The grinding wheel shapes and the sizes. The factor considered for selecting of a grinding wheel. Now we are going to see regarding this terminology. Classification of a grinding wheels. The first one is an straight grinding wheels. In that the sides parallel and the side tapered. The sides parallel and the sides tapered. Next, cylindrical grinding wheels, cup wheels, dish wheels, and the segmented wheels. I repeat, cup wheels, dish wheels, and the segmented wheels. Wheel shapes, straight grinding wheels. So on the figure you can see clearly the straight grinding wheels. The first one is in straight, second one is in recessed to one side, and the third figure is in recessed to two sides. Fourth figure is in tapered so two sides. So these are used for cylindrical, centerless, internal, and surface grinding operations. A straight grinding wheels with a tapered face is used for grinding threads, gear teeth, and other snagging operations. Straight grinding wheels with tapered face, that means in the last you are seeing a tapered two sides. So with the help of these tapered two sides grinding wheel, we can go for the grinding of threads, gear teeth, and other snagging operations. See, this is the figure of an straight grinding wheel. You can see clearly in the figure. The grinding wheel is in the color of an pink shape. Here you are seeing. That is the example for an straight grinding wheels. So these straight grinding wheels is used for normal operations. Only the tapered, that is used for the grinding of gear teeth, conical shapes, and other snagged operations. Next, wheel shapes, cylindrical grinding wheel. In the figure you can see the different types of cylindrical grinding wheels. Straight cup, flaring cup, B cylindrical grinding wheels, C cup grinding wheels. Cylindrical and the cup grinding wheels. So it is used for surface grinding on horizontal and vertical spindle grinding machines. It is used for surface grinding on horizontal and vertical spindle grinding machines. That means this cylindrical grinding wheel we can use in the both horizontal and vertical spindle grinding machines. See in the figure we can clearly see the straight curve grinding wheel. This is the straight curve grinding wheel. Facing cup grinding wheel. See, these are the three figures you are seeing on the screen. The first one is in bowl shape, that is called as a flaring cup grinding wheel. The second is also the same, the third is also the same. wheel shapes, cup grinding wheels. The cup grinding wheels, fairy cup grinding wheel, straight cup grinding wheel. Like that we have seen now. Now we are going to see clearly regarding those things. Uh, Cup grinding wheels are used on tool and cutter grinding machines. These are used on tool and the cutter grinding machines. For surface grinding on vertical and horizontal spindle machines. For surface grinding on vertical and horizontal spindle machines. Flaring cup grinding wheel is used mainly for sharpening, milling cutter and the reamers. This flaring cup type grinding wheel is used in mainly for sharpening, milling cutters and the reamers. So regarding these reamers, we have studied in the first year workshop technology. The reamers are used for the purpose of finishing the hole. And the milling cutters, these are used in the manufacturing of an gear. So for that milling cutters, we can make the grinding with the help of an flaring cup grinding wheel. This is regarding the flaring cup grinding wheel. Dish wheel and saucer wheels. Dish wheel and the saucer wheels. So these types you can see clearly in the figure. Dish grinding wheels, dish and the saucer. The E is an segmented wheel. Dish wheel and saucer wheels are used in tool room. Dish wheel and saucer wheels are used in the tool room. Tool room is the place where a high precision work takes place, whereas there is a need of an accuracy. Thin edge of dish wheel permits is to be used in narrow slots. You can see on the figure, this thin edge of the dish wheel permits to be used in narrow slots. Narrow slot means a narrow gap. Saucer wheel is used for sharpening the teeth of the circular or bandsaws or milling cutter teeth. See the second figure, that is a saucer wheel. It is used for sharpening the teeth of the circular at bandsaw and milling cutter teeth. Circular and the bandsaw, this thing you have seen in the carpentry, that is in the workshop. Bandsaw or circular saw, that is used for the cutting of an wood. And milling cutter teeth is a milling, as you have seen now. The milling cutter is used for the manufacturing of an gear products. So this saucer type is used for the sharpening of bandsaws and milling cutter teeth. So here you can see the dish type grinding wheels. I am making a zoom such that you can see clearly the dish type grinding wheel. Tool room grinding dish type. I am making a zoom. The operator is doing a working on the grinding machine. You can see clearly that is nothing but a tool room grinding with the help of dish type. Wheel shapes and segmented wheels. Segmented wheels are used mainly on vertical spindle grinding machines. Segmented wheels, the segmented wheel you can see on the screen clearly. These wheels are mainly used on the vertical spindle grinding machines. I am making a zoom such that you can see clearly segmented wheel. This is called as a segmented wheel. See the segmented grinding wheel, that is a very big one. Segmented grinding wheel. The factors governing the selection of a grinding wheel. Now we are going to see the factors which are going to govern the selection of a grinding wheel. The first constant factors, that means the factors that do not vary or change. Material to be removed, that means the how much amount of material that will be removed from the workpiece, whether it is an excess material or light cut material or medium cut material. Amount of material to be removed follows the same. Wheel contact, that is nothing but a wheel contact between the grinding wheel and the workpiece, and the type of grinding machine, that is nothing but a type of grinding machine that may regarding the vertical or the horizontal, like that. Next is then the variable factors, the factors governing the selection of the grinding wheels. The second one is then variable factors. The wheel speed, so it's regarding the whether the wheel is rotating in the low speed, medium speed or high speeds. That is depend upon the type of the operation and the type of the workpiece required. And the work speed follows the same. Condition of the machine, condition of the machine. Next, the skill of the operator. Condition of the machine means whether the machine in a good condition or bad condition. It's also a variable factor. And the skill of the operator, if there is a skilled worker, the working will becomes at a faster rate. If there is an unskilled or semi-skilled person, the working will become a slow, or we may not get the accuracy, Constant factors. Material to be removed, soft grade wheels are required for grinding harder material. Soft grade wheels are required for grinding harder material. Aluminum oxide wheels are used for grinding metals of high tensile strength. Aluminum oxide wheels are used for grinding metals of high tensile strength, that is of steels. Silicon carbide wheels used for the low tensile strength. So for the high tensile strength of the steel, we will use the aluminum oxide wheels. For the low tensile strength, we will use the silicon carbide wheels. For harder material, we will use the soft grade wheels. Amount of material to be removed. Coarse grains, open structure wheels are recommended for rapid removal of metal. So this topic we have discussed in the last class, that is regarding the coarse grains, medium grains, fine grains and the very fine grains. So for the removal of an heavy material or the heavy excess material, we will go for the coarse grains, and the open structure wheel are recommended for the rapid removal of the metal. Open structure wheel are removed for the rapid removal of a metal. Wheel contacts. Softer wheels for greater contact area, and harder and finer wheels for minimum area of contact. I repeat, softer wheels for greater contact area. We will use the softer wheels, that is for the greater contact area, and harder and finer wheels for minimum area of contact, vice versa. Next is then variable factors. variable factors. Wheel speed. Harder wheels are recommended for the low wheel speeds and the vice versa. Here the harder wheels are recommended for the low wheel speeds. That means the softer wheels are recommended for the high wheel speeds and the vice versa. That is the thing. Work speed, harder wheels for higher work speed and vice versa. Harder wheels for higher work speed, vice versa. That means softer wheels for lower work speeds. Condition of the grinding machine. A machine in good condition requires the softer wheels. If the machine which is running in a good condition, it requires the softer wheels. If there is an skilled worker, he will look after the wheels and the machine perfectly. If there is an unskilled or semi-skilled worker, he may not look after the machine or the wheel. Machine with loose spindles required harder wheels. So machine with the loose spindles that require the harder wheels. So up to now we have seen the shape of the grinding wheels: straight, cylindrical, cup shape, dish, segmental grinding wheels, and the factors for selecting the grinding wheel. These are the topics which we have discussed now. Continuation of that one. Various methods of the grinding. Various methods of the grinding. We will see the methods of grinding. External cylindrical grinding, internal cylindrical grinding, surface grinding, centerless grinding. I repeat: external cylindrical grinding, internal cylindrical grinding, surface grinding, and the centerless grinding. We are going to see regarding the external cylindrical grinding. So that is used for finishing the external cylindrical surfaces. External cylindrical grinding is nothing but which is used for finishing external cylindrical surfaces. See that figure? I am making a zoom. The grinding wheel which is rotating and the workpiece is held between the centers. So here we are moving a workpiece that is in the traversing motion. Due to that presence of abrasive particles that is on the grinding wheel, it may be the coarse or the fine grains. So if it is in coarse grains, there will be a removal of excess metal in the high quantity. If it is in fine grains, there is a removal of excess metal in the somewhat low quantity compared with the coarse grains. This is regarding the external cylindrical grinding. External cylindrical grinding. This method involves the following motions: rotary motions for both the workpiece and grinding wheel. Here you will see the both rotary motions, that is for the workpiece and the grinding wheel. Traverse motion for the grinding wheel to cover the entire length. Transverse motion for the grinding wheel, that is to cover the entire length. Traverse motions mean that you can see on the screen. You are seeing the traverse motion. With the help of a traverse motion, we can cover the workpiece, or we can cover the working operation of entire length. external cylindrical grinding. This is the figure. We can see clearly the external cylindrical grinding. The workpiece is held between the centers, and also you are seeing the coolants. Our grinding wheel is in the silver shape. After starting the machine, we will feed the grinding wheel towards the workpiece. So due to that, there will be a removal of an excess material. Here we can move the grinding wheel in the transverse motion. So due to that, there will be a removal of an excess material on the entire length of the workpiece. And during process, in order to reduce the friction, we will apply the coolants. On the screen you are seeing the light blue and the yellowish pipes, yellowish nozzle shaped pipes you are seeing there. On the left side you are seeing the orange color nozzle one. So through that we can apply the coolants. Here the purpose of the coolants is to reduce the friction, and this will result in the good accuracy. This will result in the good accuracy. Cylindrical grinding. Camshaft. With the help of an coolant, we are making a grinding operation. Cylindrical grinding. Internal cylindrical grinding. Internal cylindrical grinding. I am making a zoom such that you can see the figure clearly. Grinding wheel, workpiece held in a check, and you are seeing the transverse motion. So in the figure, what you are seeing, a hollow cylindrical workpiece has kept. For that one, we are making a grinding. So we are making an internal grinding. So workpiece held in a check, we are moving that one in a transverse motion. That is for entire length of the workpiece. It is used for accurate finishing of the holes in a workpiece by a grinding wheel. It is used for accurate finishing of the holes in a workpiece by a grinding wheel. So here we will get the accurate finishing when comparing with the external cylindrical grinding. Here we will get the accurate finishing. Two rotary motions and one transverse motions are involved in this method. Here we will get the two rotary motions. How we will get the two rotary motions? The cylindrical workpiece, the hollow cylindrical workpiece, the rotary motion, and also the rotary motion of an grinding wheel. So other one is an transverse motion, that you can see in the figure. So these are the motions that we will get involved in this operation. So you can see the figure of an internal cylindrical grinding on the figure. I am making a zoom such that you can see clearly. This is the internal cylindrical grinding operation. Surface grinding. It is the process of producing a flat surface on a work when fed against a revolving grinding wheel. I repeat, it is the process of producing a flat surface on a work. That means it is used to produce a flat surface on a work when fed against a revolving grinding wheel. So, in the figure you are seeing the horizontal wheel head and the vertical heel head. But these are used, it is the process of producing a flat surface only. First we will see at the horizontal wheel head. The grinding wheel is placed horizontally. By that it will rotates. While rotating, we should feed it to the workpiece. Due to that, there will be a removal of an excess material. Next, vertical wheel head. There you will see the only the thing is the difference is in the position of an grinding wheel. In the first it is an horizontal and the second is an vertical. That is nothing but in a lapped position. So in the figure you are seeing the arrow marks. That is the position of the workpiece and the grinding wheel. So here what is happening? That is the process of producing a flat surface on the work. Surface grinding on a vertical head. Surface, see the figure clearly. This is the example of an internal grinding also. Surface grinding horizontal head. So you can see the work table, and for the spindle there is a grinding wheel, so which is placed in the horizontal direction, and below that we will keep the workpiece, which is fixed with the help of a vise or some extra attachments. So this is used for the light to medium operations. So final result, the surface grinding machine. So these are the output products we will get. Form grinding. So it is used for finishing a formed surfaces such as gear tools, threads, spline shafts, spears, etc. See on the figure. Form grinding. Wheel, the work which is in the shape of a form. Here we are giving an infeed. Grinding wheel is specially shaped to match the surface to be finished. Yeah, the grinding wheel is specially shaped to match the surface to be finished. Now you can see the form grinding on the figure clearly. Next, coming to the point of an centerless grinding. So we will see the figure once. Concentrate on the figure. You are seeing a grinding wheel, and in the middle you will see the work rest and the regulating wheel. So the the grinding wheel and the regulating wheel, these rotate in their directions, that is in clockwise, whereas the work rest which is kept in the middle, it will rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. The simple example is an 3 high mill, which you have seen in the hard working process and also the cold working process. The work rest is used to support the work. Here the workpiece is kept in the center, that's why it is called as a centerless grinding. So in this process, the work is supported within the grinding wheel and the regulating wheel and the work rest table. So here in the process, the workpiece is supported between the grinding wheel and the regulating wheel and the work rest table. In the center, this is an front view. The principle of centerless grinding is shown in the figure as used for long slender bars are to be finished. So in the front view, we are seeing only a circular shape. The actual that is nothing but a long slanted bar. That is a long slanted bar. So due to the movement of the grinding wheel and the regulating wheel, the long slender bar which is present in the middle and it's got support with the help of an work rest, it get in contact with the grinding wheel and the regulating wheel. So when it get contact with the grinding wheel consists of an abrasive particles and with some mixtures or additives. So due to that, what may happen, due to the regular contact with the grinding wheel, there will be a removal of an excess material that is in the light quantity. So here in this process, we will not get it is not used for the medium to high operations. This is best suitable for light to medium operations only. The main purpose of the centerless grinding is to grinding long slanted bars, which is to be finished. So we have discussed regarding the external cylindrical grinding, internal cylindrical grinding, surface grinding and the centerless grinding. Now we are going to see some of the videos which I have taken from the YouTube, such that you can understand clearly. Now we are going to see some of the videos regarding the grinding methods. So these videos I have taken from the YouTube, that is made by the Yashwant Kumawaj. So try to understand this.
grinding methods जिनमें हम सिलेंड्रिकल ग्राइंडिंग और सरफेस ग्राइंडिंग के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। हमारी वर्क रिक्वायरमेंट के आधार पर डिफरेंट तरह की सरफेस को हमें ग्राइंड करना पड़ता है। On the basis of type of surface materials, grinding processes are classified as surface grinding, cylindrical grinding and centerless। पहला है सरफेस ग्राइंडिंग। सरफेस ग्राइंडिंग मेथड प्लेन और फ्लैट सरफेस को फिनिश करने के लिए काम में लिया जाता है। सरफेस ग्राइंडिंग सरफेस ग्राइंडर्स पर की जाती है। सरफेस ग्राइंडर्स हॉरिजॉन्टल और वर्टिकल टाइप हो सकते हैं। इनके बारे में हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में चर्चा करेंगे। यहाँ ये वर्कपीस दिखाया है और ये ग्राइंडिंग व्हील के रेल्स है और ग्राइंडिंग व्हील को एक टिप तो कट दिया गया है। जब इस ग्राइंडिंग व्हील का प्रयोग प्लेन सरफेस को फिनिश करने के लिए किया जाए तो ये मेथड कहलाएगा सरफेस ग्राइंडिंग मेथड। अगला मेथड है सिलेंड्रिकल ग्राइंडिंग। सिलेंड्रिकल ग्राइंडिंग सिलेंड्रिकल पार्ट्स कंटूर सिलेंडर लेड कैम्स क्रैंक शाफ्ट्स को फिनिश करने के लिए हमने की। सिलेंड्रिकल ग्राइंडिंग मेथड में वर्कपीस को सेंटर्स के बीच में बिल्ड किया जाता है। डिपेंडिंग ऑन मेथड ऑफ ग्राइंडिंग द वर्क सिलेंड्रिकल grinding methods are of two types: reverse grinding और plunge grinding. reverse grinding को हम इस चित्र के द्वारा समझ सकते हैं. reverse grinding का प्रयोग तब किया जाता है जब हमें व्हील फेस से लंबे वर्कपीस को ग्राउंड करना है. यानी अगर हमें इस लेंथ के वर्कपीस को इस व्हील से ग्राउंड करना हो तो हमें इस व्हील को या वर्कपीस को फीड मोशन देनी पड़ेगी. यहाँ ये वर्कपीस है, इसे रोटेशनल मूवमेंट दी जा रही है, यानी इस पिंडल पे रोटेशन कर रहा है और ग्राइंडिंग व्हील भी रोटेशन, साथ में ग्राइंडिंग व्हील को फीड दी जाती है. चूँकि हमें ग्राइंडिंग व्हील के फेस से ज़्यादा लेंथ को ग्राइंड करना है, इसलिए हमें व्हील को वर्क के पैरेलल फीड देनी है. यहाँ ये फीड एक तो कट को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है या कहें कि वर्क में कितनी फीड है. वही जो प्लंज ग्राइंडिंग है उसे इस चित्र के द्वारा समझा जा सकता है. प्लंज ग्राइंडिंग का प्रयोग तब किया जाता है जब हमें व्हील फेस के इक्वल या इससे कम लंबाई की सरफेस को ग्राइंड करना है. जैसे यहाँ इस लंबाई के वर्कपीस को हमें ग्राइंड करना है तो हम दिए गए व्हील को वर्कपीस के पैरेलल बिना फीड दिए भी फिनिशिंग कर सकते हैं. तो यहाँ हम व्हील को इस डायरेक्शन में फीड नहीं दे रहे. व्हील को फीड परपेंडिकुलर टू वर्क एक्सिस दी जा रही है या कहें इनफील्ड की डायरेक्शन में फीड दी जा रही है. तो इस तरह एक्सटर्नल या इंटरनल सिलेंड्रिकल सरफेस को ग्राइंड करने के लिए जो मेथड काम में आता है उसे सिलेंड्रिकल ग्राइंडिंग मेथड कहा जाता है. सिलेंड्रिकल ग्राइंडिंग मेथड सेंटर टाइप सिलेंड्रिकल ग्राइंडर्स पर परफॉर्म किया जाता है. यहाँ हम डिफरेंट सिलेंड्रिकल ग्राइंडिंग ऑपरेशंस देख सकते हैं, जिसमें पहला रिवर्स ग्राइंडिंग है. इसमें वर्कपीस को सेंटर्स के बीच में हेल्ड किया हुआ है और व्हील को इनफीड दी जा रही है. चूँकि वर्कपीस की लंबाई व्हील फेस से ज़्यादा है इसलिए यहाँ वर्कपीस को फीड. कई बार हम व्हील को भी फीड दे सकते हैं. इस केस में भी हमें ज़्यादा लंबाई के वर्कपीस को ग्राइंड करना है तो व्हील को हमें फीड देना. अगर व्हील फेस से ज़्यादा लंबाई के टेपर को भी ग्राइंड करना है तब भी हमें फीड पैरेलल टू सरफेस देनी. इस केस में प्लंज ग्राइंडिंग को दिखाया गया है. इसमें सिर्फ हमें इतनी लंबाई को फिनिश करना है, इसलिए न तो वर्क को फीड दी जा रही है न ग्राइंडिंग व्हील. यहाँ भी सिर्फ इतनी फिलेट या इतने पोर्शन को हमें ग्राउंड करना है. यहाँ व्हील फेस की विड्थ वर्क लेंथ से ज़्यादा है इसलिए ये प्लंज ग्राइंडिंग हुआ. यहाँ हमें सिर्फ इस फिलेट पोर्शन को ग्राउंड करना है. यहाँ इस कंटूर सरफेस को जो सरफेस ग्राउंड की जानी है उनकी लंबाई ग्राइंडिंग व्हील के फेस से कम है या बराबर है तो ये प्लंज ग्राइंडिंग. कई केसेस में हम प्रोफाइल की भी ग्राइंडिंग कर सकते हैं जहाँ व्हील को किसी सरफेस पर मूव करवाया जाता है. यानी हमें इस तरह की प्रोफाइल की फिनिशिंग करनी हो तो व्हील को इस प्रोफाइल पर इस तरह मूव करवाया. ये जो ग्राइंडिंग है इसे प्रोफाइल ग्राइंडिंग कहा जाता है. अगला ग्राइंडिंग मेथड है सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग. सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग मेथड दो तरह का हो सकता है, एक्सटर्नल और इंटरनल. जब हम एक्सटर्नल सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग की बात करते हैं तो हम सिर्फ सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग ही कहते हैं. ये जब इंटरनल सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग की बात की जाती है तो पूरा बोलते सेंटरलेस इंटरनल ग्राइंडिंग. सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग मेथड एक्सटर्नल टाइप है वो उन वर्कपीस के लिए काम में लिया जाता है जो सेंटर्स के बीच में न तो हेल्ड किए जा सकते हैं और नहीं रोटेट किए जा सकते हैं. और ये एक्सटीरियर सिलेंड्रिकल टेपर या फोम सरफेसेस को ग्राइंड करने के काम में. चूँकि यहाँ वर्कपीस किसी फिक्स सेंटर के अबाउट रोटेट नहीं होता इसीलिए इस मेथड को सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग मेथड कहा. सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग तीन तरह से की जा सकती है: थ्रो ग्राइंडिंग, इनफीड ग्राइंडिंग एंड फीड ग्राइंडिंग. पहले इस चित्र के द्वारा हम सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग मेथड को समझेंगे। सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग मेथड में ग्राइंडिंग व्हील के अलावा रेगुलेटिंग व्हील या बैकअप व्हील और रेस्ट ब्लेड का प्रयोग किया। ग्राइंडिंग व्हील और रेगुलेटिंग व्हील के बीच में रेस्ट ब्लेड पर या वर्क रेस्ट पर वर्क को रख दिया। ग्राइंडिंग व्हील और रेगुलेटिंग व्हील दोनों एक डायरेक्शन में रोटेट करवाए जाते हैं और दोनों के रोटेशन के फलस्वरूप वर्क पहली डायरेक्शन में रोटेट करता है और ग्राइंडिंग व्हील वर्क के डायरेक्शन के कारण वर्क की फिनिशिंग हो जाती है। यहाँ वर्क को एक इंक्लिनेशन भी दी जाता है जिससे कि वर्क ऑटोमेटिक पास होता है। जैसा कि हमने देखा रिवर्स ग्राइंडिंग में, उसी तरह थ्रो ग्राइंडिंग की जाती है। अगर हमारी वर्कपीस की लेंथ ग्राइंडिंग व्हील के फेस से ज़्यादा है तो जो ग्राइंडिंग की जाएगी उसे थ्रो ग्राइंडिंग कहा जाता है। वहीं इनफीड ग्राइंडिंग प्लंज ग्राइंडिंग की तरह है। अगर हमें व्हील फेस से कम लेंथ या बराबर लेंथ के वर्कपीस को सेंटरलेस ग्राइंडिंग मेथड से ग्राइंड करना है तो उस मेथड को इनफीड ग्राइंडिंग कहा जाता है। एंड फीड मेथड टेपर सेक्शंस को ग्राइंड करने के काम आता है। इसमें ग्राइंडिंग व्हील या रेगुलेटिंग व्हील इनमें से कोई एक या दोनों टेपर फॉर्म के हो सकते हैं। अब बात करते हैं सेंटरलेस इंटरनल ग्राइंडिंग मेथड। सेंटरलेस इंटरनल ग्राइंडिंग मेथड स्टेट टेपर या फॉर्म्ड होल्स को करेक्ट साइज से फिनिश के लिए ग्राइंड करने के काम। सेंटरलेस इंटरनल ग्राइंडिंग मेथड को इस चित्र से समझा जा सकता है। इसमें वर्क को 3 सपोर्ट रोल से या व्हील से सपोर्ट किया गया, जिनमें से ये सपोर्ट रोल है, ये प्रेशर रोल है और ये रेगुलेटिंग। ये तीनों एक डायरेक्शन में रोटेट करते हैं। वर्कपीस इनके बीच में सपोर्ट रहता है और वह अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में रोटेशन। और ग्राइंडिंग व्हील क्योंकि यहाँ होल्स को ग्राइंड करेगा इसलिए वो वर्कपीस के होल के अंदर भाग होगा। और यह रेगुलेटिंग व्हील के अपोजिट यानी इस सरफेस पे कांटेक्ट में रहेगा। तो यहाँ भी वर्कपीस को इसी सेंटर पर फिक्स नहीं किया गया है, इसलिए इस मेथड को सेंटरलेस इंटरनल ग्राइंडिंग मेथड कहा।
Grinding wheel. Grinding wheel is a rotative abrasive wheel used in grinding operation. This grinding wheel is made by bonding the abrasive particles together. Shapes of grinding wheel. This video shows the 3D model of the different shapes of grinding wheel. Type 42 raised hub wheel. Type 02 cylinder wheel. Type 12 dish wheel. Type 31 segment wheel. Type 01 cutoff wheel. Type 01 straight wheel. Type 05 one side recessed wheel. Type 07 double recessed wheel. Type 11 taper cup wheel. Type 06 straight cup